Welcome aboard. Who is joining us for this evening live stream where we get to talk about whatever is going on behind the scenes of the coronation ceremony? Anyone joining us yet? Not yet. Okay. Are we having anyone joining us tonight? Welcome to this live stream. My name is Francis and it's Francis Page Media Royal News Catch Up. When you come here, you come to catch up with the latest that is going on in the world of our British royals. Wherever you are, my dear friends, thank you so much for joining us today. By the way, I do appreciate your support here at Francis Page Media. Without you guys, this channel would be nowhere. So I'm so grateful for you all, my dear friends. So yes, we are here to talk about the coronation ceremony, which is very fastly approaching. And I thought, why not come on very briefly just to sort of have these conversations around what is going on behind the scenes. You can ask me any questions that you have regarding the coronation ceremony, regarding who you would like to see attend the coronation ceremony. I'm here to just share whatever I know, of course, having served with the British royal family at some point, and of course these would have been some of the events we used to carry out during those times. Hi Lauren, great to see you. I'm very good. Thank you for joining us. Guys, I'm so sorry for this very late live stream, but I thought being a Friday night, most of you might still be up and about. So yes, let's catch up here, guys. Ask me any questions that you want to know about the coronation ceremony. And of course, I will also be sharing some of those little bits and bobs that are starting to come up regarding this very upcoming, exciting event. So 100k subscribers, guys, thank you so much. We are still holding that up, and we want to see this channel grow and continue to grow. But yes, for those who haven't yet caught up on some of the videos that I have posted, please head over to them and give them a like, give them a view, because when you view them, they will be boosted or thrown into YouTube's algorithms. I don't know how YouTube works. But anyway, welcome aboard this edition of a live stream here at Francis Page Media, a channel that is always helping people out there to stay up to date with those very exciting royal news. So I've been talking to some of my friends who are working, who are still in the army, and these are really working very hard behind the scenes to get their kit ready for the coronation ceremony. And as I told you last time, I intend to go and volunteer with helping them to clean up their boots, polish them to the required standard, because those are some of the kits that all the boys right now, whether you're going to be a musician in the band, or you're going to be a guard or a soldier on the horse, you need to show up with very shiny boots that are up to standards. You guys who have come to see the change of guard at Buckingham Palace will tell me what I mean by having those really highly polished boots. So that would be one of the equipments that all the boys right now are very much working on. And as I promised, I intend to go and volunteer and help some of those boys who are struggling with getting their boots to standard. But there is another piece of equipment that the boys are working on, and I would like to show you that. But before I do, again, I would like to welcome all of you who have turned up to this live stream. And of course, very terrible awkward times that we hold these live streams some days like tonight. You'd imagine in some countries it's really late. But you guys stay up and watch these videos till the very end, again showing the so much love, kindness and support you have for this channel. So I thought I come on very briefly. We talk about things, coronation ceremony. I show you a bit of those things that the boys are working on right now that are keeping them very, very busy. Let me see. Okay, so one of those equipments, are we all except for the celebration? Oh yes, yes, we are looking very much forward to the coronation ceremony. Lorraine, I know you, you're one of those royalists who can't wait for the coronation ceremony. But yes, this would be one of the kits that the boys are working on. Now look at the state of mine. Okay, so this is what I used to use when I was still in, and this is a souvenir I'm holding on to very, very tightly. I love this. These remind me of the days back in the army when we used to spend sleepless nights trying to clean these up to standard, getting all these golden bits all nice and shiny. Anybody knows what this piece of equipment does? And shout out in the comment section below. Lorraine, have you seen this before? Of course, this would be what they call the cab chain. Guys, before I go forward, is my sound good? Give me a thumbs up in the comment section below if the sound is up to scratch. If not, I will make some adjustments, I think. But give me a shout, guys. All is well with you. Do you know if Harry will be? Oh, hi, truth be told. Thank you so much for that question. Very, very interesting question. I will come to that in a moment. I hope you've had a good day, truth be told. One of those very, very supportive friends of mine here on the channel. Thank you so much for always sticking around. So I was talking about that piece of equipment and asking if anybody of you knows what it is. But before I tell you what this is, maybe to answer my friend Truth Be Told's question here. 1 minute, let me pull it up. So you said, do you know if Harry will be attending the coronation? Now that is one question everybody is asking. And to be honest, nobody knows 100%. What we know is that all the names have been put down for the guests who are going to be attending, and those invitations will be soon flying out. Now they have left them slightly later because they've had to have some adjustments to make, etc. And Meghan and Harry, according to royal insiders, are on that list. However, they haven't formally invited them. They haven't sent that invitation in its formal sense to Meghan and Harry yet. There are some problems regarding that. That guest list usually is kept a secret, so they tend to send those lists, those invitations personally to the invitees. They tend not to publish that list until a certain date for security reasons that we know. Can you imagine inviting, for example, the president of Ukraine to come for the coronation ceremony, and you publish that list and he's on that list, and what that could, the impact that could result, or that could have on the coronation ceremony, knowing that he's a leader in a country which is still very much a war zone, is on the invitation list. So then you would be alerting their enemies or whatever where that person will be on the day. So that's the reason why they don't publish these lists soon enough, because of those very, very important, because of security reasons. Yes, yeah. Hiya, Jello Osman. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Again, today we are talking about anything coronation ceremony. So, whatever question you have, just throw it in and we munch it up. If I can't tell you a response, I'm quite sure some of you on these live streams are very knowledgeable about the royal coronation ceremony and what to expect. But be sure to walk away with an answer tonight. So yes, Meghan and Harry very much on the invitation list according to royal insiders, but they haven't received a formal invitation yet. They haven't sent them their invitation, and this has a lot to do with stuff that has been going on regarding Meghan and Harry, their security issues. We know how much they are talking about the British police not giving them the security they asked for, and because Meghan and Harry think that they are a high target to people who don't want them. They don't want to risk coming here without knowing that they will be having security. But the other issue, of course, to do with them is the the issue of the memoir, which was sold, and the Netflix documentaries which were aired. And in these documentaries, we know what was said in them, things that did not sit well with the British public, with the monarchy. So there is an issue of trust, okay, here. So again, the royal family could be holding this invitation back as a result of debating more and more of whether it will be a great idea to have them attend the coronation ceremony. Okay, so if at all invitations are going to be sent out, I'm quite sure Meghan and Harry's will be maybe one of the very last invitations to be sent. So we shall all know once they receive that invitation, because we know how the Sussexes like to put these things up in public. They like to sort of talk about whatever plans they have lined up, especially if those are to do with attending functions that they are very much going to become the center of focus. But we shall get to know all about that, guys. So Meghan and Harry, are they invited yet? Nobody knows 100% yet, but there are debates going on of whether to have them around or to have just Harry come around, because of course the risk those two carry if they come round is bigger when there are two of them. So there are a lot of debates still going on. Hi Venus, again, thank you so much for joining us, guys. I'm really grateful to see these very popular faces on these live streams every day. Lorraine, truth be told, Julian, thank you guys so much. We are missing out on some other guys I've not seen here for a while, but a lot is happening out there. We hope everybody is fine. So I was talking about that piece of equipment, that is the curb chain. So this is that assortment, you may like to call it, that holds the bear skin in place. Okay, so we know that what is it called, the fluffy, the bear skin, the big hat that the soldiers wear, the guards, kings guards, queens guards wear. So be sad, thank for clarification. If they don't attend, my grandparents were still alive, they would be very sad. Absolutely, truth be told. But for King Charles, of course, he might just maybe want Harry to be around because it's his son, and he thinks that maybe in future he might sit back and reflect on his mistakes as a son and maybe want to repent his sins to King Charles and say sorry and all that stuff. So I think from a father's perspective, King Charles wants to see Harry around, but also to stop maybe Harry from going around in future and mourning about not being invited to his father's coronation ceremony, later on writing a book about it. But either way, Prince Harry will always write a book about something. So whether he attends or not, there is something he will be mourning about somewhere, somehow. But let us wait and see what happens. Many British royalists would not want to see these two attend because, you know, they could overshadow, okay, the king's big day. But if they decide that they are invited, if the royal family decides to invite them, I think it will be a decision they have carefully thought about or thought through. Okay. But yes, that's the cap chain once again. Sorry for going off it. So this is what holds the bear skin in place. Like that. Okay. Okay, so and the reason for that, of course, you know the history behind the inventing of this cap chain. It's not only there to hold the bear skin in position, but it's because of also for safety reasons. Remember, long before these came to be used, they used to have just strings. Okay, they just used to have strings to hold the bear skin in place, but those were not fashionable enough. Okay, so they thought, maybe they introduce something which is shiny, fashionable, which is going to sort of look more stylish, but also for security reasons, sorry, for safety reasons. Long before, there is an incident that happened, long before these were used, where, you know, horses, and I think one of the officers was sat on a horse, and they have those swords. Sometimes they use those swords to help keep the horse in control or in check. And we know how soldiers or guards are marching alongside horses, okay, so forming up on parades, and there is a tendency for officers to flip those swords and all that stuff. Sometimes the officers are maybe leading a band or conducting an activity of some sort. So this officer was flipping his sword, and that sword happened to rip through one of the soldiers' chins. Okay, so that was a very, very terrible story. So this then was brought in, that just in case that incident happens, this provides some sort of safety to the soldiers' chins. Someone will ask themselves how, but okay. But they thought this would provide some form of safety, okay, safety in case the swords are flipped and all that. That sword will only hit the cap chain there and won't maybe go into a soldier's skin or slash off the bear skin and all that. Yeah, so this is one bit of equipment right now that is being worked on by soldiers 24 hours day and night, getting inside all those rings to make sure that they are as shiny as they can be. It takes a while, so they would be using cotton wool, brass, to make sure that they polish them. So I brought this here today just to show you that yes, the boys behind the scenes are very, very busy working on their kit, and of course this being one of those kits. Okay, but there are also a number of other kits they could be working on right now, and some of those would be their bath belts. Do you know what bath belts are, guys? Again, leave your thoughts in the comment section below if you've seen a bath belt. But I think I have one I can show you here. So there's something like this one here. So this would be the belt that wraps around the soldier's uniform. So that tunic, the red tunic everybody will be wearing on the day. So this also has to be immaculate. All these rings here have to be highly polished to standards. And of course, checking for damages on the belt to make sure that there is no damage, because on the day, if you're picked up with any damage on your belt, that is going to be what they call a show parade, or you will be lining up in front of the guard room at 10 o'clock in the night every single day for God knows how many days as a punishment, with your belt highly done or polished. So again, the way they polish these is the same way they polish that. So they use brass and cotton wool to make sure that they don't, to make sure they take away all the funny bits and make it as shiny as it can be. So those would be some of the kits that soldiers are working on right now to ensure that they are highly polished to standard, and that they are marching very, very smartly, and their kit is up immaculate, because we know these are going to be shown on national telly everywhere. The boys will be all singing and dancing, marching. You don't want to turn up with a dirty belt, dirty cap chain. You're going to be inspected by officers of the British Army, representatives of His Majesty the King. So if they report back that a regiment, soldiers within a regiment that will be taking part turned up with a kit which wasn't up to standard, that regiment will be facing some repercussions. Right, thank you for sharing. Yes, yeah, I know. Thank you so much, Truth Be Told. Thank you. What's your name, by the way, Truth Be Told? I always see you. But I've wanted to ask your name here, if you don't mind sharing. Yes, so that is what is going on behind the scenes. I'll be showing you at least an equipment every single time I do a live here. Next time I'll show you how the buttons need to sit properly on their uniforms and all that stuff. And as a former Queen's Guard or King's Guard now, as they call them, these are things that I used to do, and on a daily basis, dressing up and being inspected by Prince William. At the time was my colonel in charge of the regiment, so we would be inspecting us. Catherine at some point as well, on days like St. Patrick's Day. And the Queen inspected us during a Queen's birthday parade at some point. And so I'm very, very much aware of the standards that all soldiers need to keep when it comes to carrying out these ceremonial events. The coronation ceremony is a very, very iconic event. Of course, we know the last one we had was when Queen Elizabeth was being coronated. Hi Lily, thank you so much for joining us today. Hope everything has been great so far this week for you. Yes, so this is what is going on in these regiments. All soldiers, guards, whatever regiments are in the UK will have a role of some sort on the coronation day. So they are bound to be very, very busy. Good evening, Carol Lockett. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, appreciate your support, guys. And if you missed the first bits of this live, I was saying that I'm here to be asked anything you want to ask regarding the coronation ceremony, which is very, very fastly approaching. Now, someone was asking me what sort of guests are going to be invited for the coronation ceremony. And of course, not everybody will be there to see the king being coronated live. So there is a list of those that have been invited, and we were told that King Charles III has put down a list of 2,000 guests. Now that is that is a significantly low number compared to the 8,000 guests that attended Queen Elizabeth's coronation ceremony. So Queen Elizabeth's ceremony was huge, maybe 3 times bigger than what King Charles's coronation is going to be like. But King Charles made it clear to us a few months ago that he is going to make it a little bit slimmer, a little bit smaller, because we are living in very difficult times, challenging times. People don't have what to eat. People don't have where to sleep. They are homeless. There are so many troubles. COVID took away so many people's lives. The economy is still trying to get back on or off its knees. So King Charles thought that spending a lot of money on the coronation ceremony is probably not the best idea, and he was right. So what he decided was to halve the coronation, what would have been spent on the coronation, into a half. And so, but I think he's even gone beyond slicing into a half, because 2,000 guests compared to 8,000 that Queen Elizabeth had is significantly low. So King Charles III has put together a list of 2,000 guests, and these, of course, will be including royal family members themselves. And so these would be automatically qualifying to be there for the event. And we know that these make up a couple of hundreds, okay? And then, of course, their children, their wives, and all that stuff, their spouses, as we will see that line up as they will be arriving for the coronation ceremony. And then we have church leaders, all representatives of the different churches in England will be invited to come and attend the coronation ceremony. Of course, they have to, because King Charles, of course, is the defender of all faith in the country, and if he does not invite faith leaders, regardless of how small those churches are, again, there will be a problem here with different churches probably thinking that they are not always invited to events like this one here. So church leaders will be invited. We know that cabinet ministers and of the country here, we will know that charity leaders will be invited as well. All these small charities that are doing a difference or making a difference in the lives of people within the communities will be invited. And heads of states as well from the Commonwealth countries. Not all countries in the world, but heads of states of Commonwealth countries will be invited. Maybe a few exceptions of others, but mainly heads of states. And sometimes these heads of states would nominate someone to come with on the day. So a head of state would come with maybe their prime minister or their minister in charge of foreign affairs. Okay, so there's that allowance. Whether King Charles this time round will change it round and say that heads of state just come by yourself, but we know that some of them bring their wives as well. So head of states and their spouses will be around for the coronation ceremony. Truth be told, says, my reason I used to do it because I believe being honest. My name is Maureen. I was born, so it was Colonel. I believe I'm your oldest fan and a great grandmother. Yes, thank you so much, Maureen, for that beautiful experience, insight, and wow. Born the year Queen Elizabeth was coronated. Oh, yes, you see, we have a wealth of knowledge here among our friends on the channel here. Thank you so much, Maureen, for letting us into that bit of personality there. Thank you so much. Venus says, I wonder if Fergie will be invited. Yes, do you mean Prince Andrew's ex-wife? Fergie? Yes, she will be invited, of course, because her children will be there. Eugenie and who's the other one? Beatrice will be there, so their mother will be there. She's always been invited, Fergie. I think on the Platinum Jubilee service, which was at St. Paul's Cathedral, if I'm right, Fergie sat I think not far from the Meghan and Harry's, around there. So she will be invited, definitely. Okay. And who else? So world leaders, those from the Commonwealth, heads of states, okay. We will have, who else? Local leaders, charity leaders, sorry. We will have members of the public who have made a contribution in their communities. So these would be maybe sports stars, those who have been to Buckingham Palace, maybe to receive an investiture of some sort in the past. Who else? Yes, and then we have some members who are nominated by the public to be present for the coronation ceremony. So these would be maybe those who have volunteered to, or who have raised money for charity, significant amount of money. So most of us remember Sir Tom. Was it Sir Tom? So John, what was his name? Leave that in the comments. Was it Sir Tom Jones? Who was he? That military, ex-serviceman who raised money during COVID. I've forgotten his name. He passed away a few months ago. Yes, so if he was here, he would have been invited because he did something very, very important for the community. So those would be people who would be invited. Of course, we know those very close to the royal family, the David Beckhams, and again, they've made a contribution in football, they've set up charities. And maybe people like Elton John, those who have some sort of attachment to the royal family, but in one way or the other, that they have also made a contribution, whether in music, football, and all that stuff. So yes, but 2,000 is the number that is intending to be invited for the coronation ceremony. Okay, so slightly lower, significantly, lower compared to what Queen Elizabeth had. But of course, we know, as we said, these are changing times. The economy is, people are not having enough to eat and all that stuff. So the king is being very, very, very careful not to spend a lot of money which would have otherwise be used somewhere elsewhere for the good of people. So I would say the chances are very small at Vinastar. Okay. Yes, so having said that though, plans are in place for the coronation concert. As we know, this is going to be that big concert that will be taking place at Windsor Castle grounds. And Kapiti here. And we hear that, of course, stars are going to be performing. They haven't named the star performers for the event. But there have been rumors going around. And of course, some very, very royal insiders I know of mine have been telling me that the royal family has been trying to reach out to certain stars to be present, to perform for the king at the coronation concert. I think one of those was Ed Sheeran, and sadly enough, Ed Sheeran is on tour, or will be on tour around that time, so he will not be able to make it. But I think they have Ellie Goulding, they have Dua Lipa, some of those young stars. Sir Paul McCartney, we know Sir Paul McCartney, a very, very renowned musician and very close to the royal family as well. He's performed on a number of royal events. So Sir Paul McCartney, Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber, he's very, very good music composer, and he's worked on so many projects for the royal family, including all those performances at the Royal Opera House, where the royal family members are, are no guests. Okay, and let's see, what's that? Nice one to do. Yeah, and then who else is taped to perform for the coronation ceremony for the king at Windsor Castle? We hear that they are trying to reach out to Taylor Swift. And we know how Taylor Swift is a good friend of Prince William. You know that good song they did together a couple of years ago. So Taylor Swift is tipped to be a star performer on the day. Sir Cliff Richards, I hear, as well. So yes, there is a huge lineup of stars that will be performing. So make sure you get yourselves those tickets, guys, to be there. Tickets for the coronation concert are provided through an open ballot, where you put your name down. I think you've seen most of that. There is a link via the royal family official Instagram and all these other social media channels. There is a link up there. I think there is one on BBC as well. You just type in BBC/coronation concert, and there is a link that will come up. You put your details there, and the closing date is the 28th of February, which is fast approaching. 28th February. When is that going to be? Next week, Tuesday, I think, will be the closing date for those expressing interest to attend the coronation concert. So you put your name down, your email address. I think they do a few checks via that information you would have provided. And then they will be hand-picking you through this big box where they're going to put all your names in, and they'll be picking one out. And 5,000 people will be lucky to be picked out, hand-picked, to go and attend the coronation concert at Windsor Castle. We are told that by April time, Easter time, people will start receiving emails of congratulations for those who would have been hand-picked. And then the madness will start for finding hotels, getting your tickets booked for those who are coming from abroad, and as well hotels and all that stuff, which is going to be a nightmare because these places have literally started running out. A hotel now in London a night could cost you about £200. No, that would be how much in dollars? About maybe $280, $300 a night in London. And if you go for a budget hotel, maybe £120 a night for that coronation season. You might be able to get a cheaper hotel outside of London, places as far as Brighton, North London, those very, very far places away from London. You might be able to get maybe a room for £80. That's $120 a night. But yes, if you intend to go for the coronation concert or to come to London for that coronation weekend, you must start looking for those things right now, hotels right now. Could be a little bit too late because people started booking these places as soon as the coronation date was announced. So that whole week of the coronation concert and the week before and the week after, those dates are going to be extremely expensive for whatever you're going to be getting in London. So stay very much aware. Where I live is only an hour and a half's journey to London, so I'm okay. I don't have to worry about buying a ticket of some sort to go. But yes, if you live far away, this is the right time for you to start planning yourselves. Could be a little bit late, but hey ho, better late than never, they say. As no one asked what at the beginning of my last comment. Sorry, Venus, I must have missed your, I think it's nice being released from the dungeon. Maybe I missed something from you, Venus. Is that from Faggy again? Yes, but it's going to be a very, very exciting event, we hope. Of course, what might ruin that event is the controversies surrounding Meghan and Harry. Of course, they are going to be one of those that are very, very highly anticipated to overshadow the coronation ceremony. We know whatever they have been doing, and the way King Charles III has handled it, left it without any form of closure, is making things worse, because Meghan and Harry, should they attend that coronation ceremony, people are going to be saying, wow, 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 the royal family is going so much easy on these two royals, giving them whatever they want. But we hope that these decisions are being made from a perspective of all of them sitting together and discussing how they will be again tackling further controversies should they arise. And we hear that if Meghan and Harry attend, the royal family will make sure that they don't stage any stunts. I don't know how they are going to do that. We know last year when they attended Queen Elizabeth's funeral, apparently they were intending to have their own walkabout in London. Now, do you know what that could have caused? Okay, divisions of support here and there. Meghan and Harry are walking about in central London, while William and Catherine are this way and all that stuff. So allegedly, there was a planned walkabout for Meghan and Harry that the royal family got to know about in those very, very final stages. And then we had William and Catherine intercepting that planned walkabout to actually inviting them to have that walkabout together in Windsor Castle. So the royal family apparently is ready to be on the close lookout for any stunts that Meghan and Harry might perform during the coronation ceremony. And of course, for Meghan and Harry, I don't think that they would turn down any opportunity to be present at the coronation ceremony, because that brings them into where the real things are. They'll be getting content for the upcoming projects. Those photographs, we already saw some of their photographs showing up in their documentaries of Catherine, Princess of Wales, during the morning season of Queen Elizabeth. Some of these shots showed up in their Netflix documentaries. So clearly, if they do attend, trust me, they will be getting as much content as they can get throughout the coronation ceremony to use in their upcoming documentaries. We know that Meghan and Harry's projects are only meaningful if they can provide content or images or films of themselves interacting in these big royal events. That is what sells them, really. So I doubt they would give up an opportunity to be around here, because we know when they come, they are going to take away a lot that they can use in their upcoming projects. So that is the controversy, but we are just so sick of seeing these stories flooding newspapers and media channels about Meghan and Harry. Are they attending? Are they not attending? Because all in all, those are the very stories that are causing this overshadowing of stories that would be more ideal. We want to see more stories to do with the coronation ceremony. King Charles is doing this. By the way, having said that as well, Queen Camilla hasn't been very well recently. She cancelled one of her engagements last minute, and we had King Charles go out on that engagement on his own. But I think the latest update is that she has managed to fully recover. I think they went out on an engagement yesterday together, so that's a good sign. But what they want to do is to try as much as possible to get rest. Camilla and King Charles are trying to get as much rest as they can ahead of the coronation ceremony. So 2 months to the coronation ceremony. Feels like far away, but very, very close indeed. In terms of the organizations, arrangements in London, those flags will start, and the decorations on the streets will start going, taking shape with effect from the second week of March. Okay, so we will start to see those changes. And I intend to go down to Buckingham Palace again. I was there recently. If you managed to catch that quick live stream I did, apologies for the sound, and the images were not the best because obviously it was very windy and all that, and of course walking with the camera in your hands. Yes, but I intend to go to Windsor Castle, to Buckingham Palace, to capture some wonderful images again and do a bit of a walk around to show you how things are taking shape in terms of the preparations for the coronation ceremony. Now, somebody was asking me about the balcony appearance. Yes, that balcony appearance, we are all looking forward to that, aren't we? The last one we saw was King Charles, Queen Elizabeth, and the Cambridges at the time, William and Catherine. So this time round, of course, our wonderful Queen Elizabeth left us. So that is going to be Charles and Camilla right in the center. And then on their left-hand side, we will be having William and Catherine and the children. And then we shall be having Sophie, I think, Sophie Wessex, Prince Edward, and then we'll have Princess Anne and Princess Anne's husband. So it's going to be a very, very slimmed down balcony appearance, but we are told that there might be 2 balcony appearances. Okay, so the first one will be slightly bigger, so it might extend into Princess Royal Anne's children, and then it might also, who is that? Zara, I think. It could also, we could see Sophie Wessex and the children. We could see the Eugenies and all that stuff. And then the second appearance then will be for the King Charles and William and Catherine as a symbol of the royal family moving forward. So the king and the heir apparent, and then Prince George. Okay, so we are expecting 2 balcony appearances. So if you do intend to go down to Buckingham Palace to watch this Buckingham Palace appearance, make sure to stay put in your place, because you might walk away and lose it. Stay put until the very end, because they are intending to surprise us with that very, very last magnificent appearance. And of course we shall see the fly past as well for those who are fans of aeroplanes and the RAF. So there will be a fly past showcasing of course the beauty of the RAF, and that will be their part to play on the coronation day. Okay, and that's usually the highlight of the event. And then after the fly past, we will be seeing royals leave the balcony to go back in to the palace. But yes, so expect a magnificent balcony appearance, and we are told there are 2. The first one, more royals on the balcony. Second one, for only slimmed down royal family members, well, the heir and the king. The big question is, Meghan and Harry, will they show up on the balcony? The answer is no, 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 no. I think that was very clear from King Charles III, that balcony appearances are for senior royals and those who are still actively involved in the activities of the royal family. Now, Meghan and Harry, of course, since they gave up their royal duties, so did they cease to be working royals. Therefore, they can't make those balcony appearances. Okay, and that is something that Prince Harry is still missing, because we know Harry as somebody who used to enjoy those moments. He was always the chatty prince on the balcony. We used to see those images of him chatting in the back at the balcony. So he misses those moments, and he should be in the United States thinking, what the hell did I put myself in? He still misses his life here in the United Kingdom. He's to wear that uniform. He would be wearing it on that big day, but he won't this time round, of course, because of those very reasons that we all know. Okay, so Meghan, Harry, no balcony appearance, and the royal family apparently plans to make them as invisible as they can be if they do attend the coronation ceremony. Okay, so for the Platinum Jubilee, we remember that they were not as visible as well. The royal family made sure that coverage was not so much on Meghan and Harry. All the cameras were placed in areas that were not capturing them a lot. Their images were not allowed to be used, or they were not even allowed to have cameras on them on the Platinum Jubilee and during Queen's funeral days. And apparently they intend to stick with that same plan should Meghan and Harry attend the coronation ceremony. Now, I think some of all these conditions put on Meghan and Harry are making them a little bit uncomfortable with attending, but Meghan and Harry still insist. we want to be present for the coronation ceremony. There were plans for Prince Harry being given a big project to work on, with a certain television network in the United States as a presenter on the day, answering questions for people who will be ringing in to ask about the coronation ceremony and all that stuff. And so those are still ongoing. Apparently, big network in the United States, television network, is trying to get Prince Harry be a presenter on the day, a guest presenter on the day. And they are promising to pay him some big money. But Prince Harry is still holding on to waiting for that formal invitation to come and attend. Because again, can you imagine Prince Harry out in the United States on a television looking at the coronation ceremony panning out on TV and explaining to people what this means and what is going on here and the questions that he will be he will be asked on the day. So I think he's trying very much to run away from that opportunity. It's one opportunity that I don't see Prince Harry accepting, because it will place him right in the center of fire, the firing line. And we know that there is another interview Prince Harry is due to I think to accept or to go on to. There is a program, is it the Late Night Show? If you're an American and you're here on this live, correct me if I'm wrong. There is a Late Night Show program in the United States. I think Prince Harry was on this program a few weeks ago, last year or last month. He was wearing that grey suit, and they were asking him questions and all that stuff. So I think he's going on to that program again on the 28th, and people are going to be asking him questions. Yes, Saturday Night Live, Sam, that's it. Yes. Is it going to be on the 28th, Sam? Is it tomorrow, actually? Is it next weekend? Yes. So they will be asking him questions. And trust me, some of the questions that will be popping up will be these same questions we are asking ourselves right here. Are you invited for the coronation ceremony? Will you go? Why did you say this and that? Okay, whether the organizers for the late night show will be giving all the people will be asking questions, specific questions to ask. We don't know yet, but what we know is Prince Harry is going on that Saturday Night Live program. Yes, that's it. Yeah, Saturday Night Live, so sad Harry's entertainment now. Yes, he is. Venus, yeah, it is. It's well, we know the South Park, that cartoon comedy cartoon recently, the South Park, that has created a character. Is the Princess of Canada? What is it? Meghan Markle and Prince Harry going on this worldwide tour of privacy, but they don't want to give away their privacy. They want to stay private, but then whatever they are doing is throwing themselves in public. So that cartoon was very interesting to act Meghan and Harry out. And I think it sent out a big message to Meghan and Harry that, of course, this is what you have been reduced to. Such a shame, really, to see things panning out the way they are right now. And there were rumors that Meghan and Harry wanted to sue the cartoon for for that comedic sort of action they did. But apparently the representative for Meghan and Harry came out and said, we are not going to sue them. But how many people will they be suing? Okay, there's a lot going on. Meghan and her cousin sister, Samantha Markle, they've got a big case going on. Prince Harry has to go in court to give evidence. There is a police case going on here. Prince Harry wants police security. The UK government wouldn't give that security. And now Meghan and Harry want to take the UK police to court. There is another lawsuit I think Harry's involved in, together with the likes of Elton John and other number of stars. So that one is also there. So they've got a lot going on. So, okay. But again, these are all serving to break Meghan and Harry down. They are breaking themselves down. The pot is cooking from the inside. A lot of strain on their relationship, allegedly, as well, as a result of Prince Harry's memoir. Meghan and Harry saying that Harry wrote these things, and now they are turning around to Meghan and saying it was all Meghan's ideas and people are hating Meghan, yet it's Harry who put them there. So, so there is those arguments going on behind the scenes in Meghan and Harry's life, and I think Meghan is now starting to point out to Harry that, listen, you're going on with these projects, which is good for us. We are making money, but the problem is people are turning against me, thinking it's me who is the brain behind these ideas. Okay? So, what are your thoughts, guys? Leave them in the comments section below. Would you still like Harry to be here? Harry's too angry to be funny anymore. Yes. Harry is he put himself in a predicament. And of course, they have made a lot of money selling, of course, Prince Harry's memoir. It's become the fastest selling non-fiction book in the world. But the more the book is selling, the more Prince Harry's popularity and his wife is plummeting. So in United States, recently, figures were telling us that they have hit an all-time low in terms of popularity in the States. Now here in the UK, it's even worse because Prince Harry, Meghan Markle now are even less popular than Prince Andrew. Okay, Prince Andrew, we know Prince Andrew and his Virginia, is it Virginia who that case he had a little while ago, which made him very, very unpopular. Now, recent polls are telling us Meghan and Harry are even less popular than Prince Andrew. Can you imagine the damage? These royals at one point were even becoming more popular, than the king himself. Harry was even more popular. Now, he's struggling down under there below Prince Andrew. Okay, it shows the scale at which Meghan and Harry are collapsing in terms of their brand. People are just making fun out of them. And until Prince Harry realizes that, listen, I think I need to start reflecting on my actions, it will be very, very late for him. Because I think whether he still stands a chance anyway, and those chances could come if he actually put the effort in trying to come back here on his own to meet the king, to meet his brother. He doesn't have to announce to the public that he's coming here. Okay, I'm quite sure if Prince Harry woke up one morning, got his passport, and traveled here undercover, I doubt they wouldn't open the gates for him at Buckingham Palace or wherever. Okay. But he has to start taking that responsibility of wanting to show the world that he wants to make up for things. He wants to come back to the Harry he used to be back in the days. Okay. And there were plans, of course, we had, guys, before I finish, there are plans they had, of course, to start going separate ways with Meghan in terms of their projects. And this is when we had Meghan wanting to reopen her blog, the TIG blog. Remember that blog she used to run, writing about fashion, clothing, food. So she wants to reopen that. And her podcast series were not going down very well because, of course, you can only have certain, you can only talk about the royal family and how you're mistreated and all that up to some point, okay, before you run dry. So coming up with content and stories and all that is posing a huge challenge. So she wanted to extend into revamping her blog and bringing it back to write that in the hope that it brings in more money for them. The sales from the book are sales going to Penguin Random House. Prince Harry should have been bought out of that project. He was paid off 20 million US dollars, so 20 million pounds. They bought him off. So these sales would now be going to Penguin Random House, the publisher. So it's not enough money that is going to be sustaining them for, for longer periods of time. They need money coming in. Now, Prince Harry has his Invictus Games, which I think the next ones will be taking place in Germany, I think, but we know how much it is expensive to run the Invictus Games in Europe. So he needs money to manage that event. But also his sources of funding are now sort of closing doors because the association with Prince Harry nowadays is a little bit risky because people know that Harry and Meghan are people that can't be trusted now, and they've got some sort of negative publicity around them. So if you're going to do a project with them, that project probably has to be undercover, or so there are always going to be some challenges. And for Prince Harry to change that, he now needs to start thinking of, right, how do I clean my name, myself up, okay, my image up, maybe, and come back and find a meaningful role. He doesn't have to be a royal, working royal and all that stuff, but I'm quite sure they can find a role for him down there that will be bringing in all the money, okay? But that can only happen, of course, if his wife Meghan Markle allows that to be, because at the moment Prince Harry is still in the grips of his wife. He can't seem to be going anywhere further without, being scolded back in, So we have to Kenya, so truly both can be trusted. Yes, hi Phoebe, thank you for joining us, guys. It is about an hour, so I will be ending this live stream here. If you've just joined us, thank you so much for again managing to catch up. Hiya Lucy, thank you so much for joining in. By the way, Lucy and every single one of you guys on here, Lorraine, truth be told, Phoebe, you guys are incredible. Your support is overwhelming. Venus, I'm so proud to have you. Lily, Carol, Lockett, wherever you are, guys, Carol, I'm sending you greetings, guys. Our friends who we haven't seen for quite some time here now, we hope they are all great. I think there's one, Caroline Ariota. I follow her on TikTok. I haven't seen her here for a while. Fiona, haven't seen her for a while, but I hope they are all doing great. For all of you, the 35 of you who are on this live stream, 42 of you, thank you so much for always catching up with these messages. Please check my video posts. I tend to post one every evening. Please check them out if you haven't. Keep up that support coming. I will be doing another live stream very, very soon. I think on Sunday or Monday. I would love to know the best time for you guys for a live stream, because I don't want to be just popping up just like that in case you've got other things to do. So in the comment section below, guys, if you let me know the best time that works well for a live stream, and then we will stick to that. Sam, thank you so much again. One of those very, very, very great fans of ours here. Nana Keynes, wherever you've joined us from, thank you so much. Guys, I truly appreciate your every support. Think about the timing for the live stream, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Tell me the best time for a live stream, and then I will stick to that. Next time, I'm quite sure to come back with a more confirmed story regarding Meghan and Harry's tendency. We also have some very, very special roles that have been assigned to William and Catherine that I will be talking to you about in the next live stream. So look out for that, guys, and I'll catch you up again sometime soon. Thank you so much for the support. Have an awesome evening, every single one of you guys. Bye-bye.